Have you ever needed to set up a lot of cloud services like servers, databases, networks in the cloud and ended up clicking around a bunch of menus? Annoying, right? Doing it all manually clicking around cloud dashboards. Now imagine if you could just write a few lines of code and everything sets itself up automatically. That's what Terraform helps you do. Well, still confused? Wait, let me make it more clearer. Have you ever imagined creating your entire cloud infrastructure using just few lines of code? Well, that's what Terraform does for you. Whether you are managing AWS, Azure, or GCP, Terraform helps you build, manage, and scale infrastructure efficiently. In this video, we are going to understand Terraform from a complete beginner's perspective, like what it is, how it works, and why it's transforming the way developers handle infrastructure. So let's get started. So what is Terraform? Terraform is an open source ISA tool, ISA infrastructure as a code, which creates and manages your cloud-based infrastructure with the help of simple code and config files. It also enables you to define, provision, and manage infrastructure across multiple cloud providers using a declarative configuration language. Think of it as writing instructions in code and letting Terraform take care of creating the virtual machines, networks, databases, and many more. Now, talking about the cloud platforms, Terraform supports multiple cloud environments including the AWS, GCP, Azure, allowing consistent and efficient infrastructure management. Thus, you get a one-stop solution for all the cloud platforms. For example, suppose you are working with AWS and you have to create an EC2 instance, which is a cloud-based virtual machine. So what you will do now is, you will go to the EC2 dashboard, you will launch an instance and then manually configure all the specification required for an instance and then create it and then launch it, right? But the same thing can be done within blink of an eye with a config file in Terraform. For example, you tell Terraform, I want an AWS EC2 instance in this region with this stack, and Terraform handles the rest, including the dependency resolution as well. So what is a Terraform config file and how does it look? Well, let me show you then. So now for the config file, when you create a config file, it uses the .tf extension with the help of the HCL or HashiCorp config language with a declarative approach. Now what is a declarative approach? Well, that means you only have to state the desired end result rather than the entire process or steps. In short, you don't need to describe how to create things, just what you want. So in the above config file, first we have mentioned which cloud provider to use, then which location or region, and finally what type of resource to allocate, as there are different types of resources available. As even in the above config file, the resource part I have just mentioned creating AWS instance with the given AMI and type and just mention the name for it. The rest of all the things that needed to be done like steps and configuration will be handled automatically by the Terraform. Also, Terraform config supports both HCL and JSON format. So the extension for the JSON format will become .tf.json, while for the HCL it will remain .tf only. But remember, HCL is more concise and easy to understand than JSON if you are new to the JSON. Now let's see the working of Terraform. Well, the working is pretty simple in basic steps. First, install and set up the Terraform. After that, prepare your config file, then initialize, plan and apply. Then, as we discussed before, we need the cloud or service providers to be configured in it. And lastly, setting up your resources. Now coming to the Terraform commands, the basic ones that we need to get started are, first is Terraform init, the second one is Terraform plan, and the third one is Terraform apply or destroy. Now let's see these commands into the execution. So let's start with initializing the file with Terraform init. So let's start with initializing the file with Terraform init and see what it does. So it is initializing the backend and providing the plugins as well. And here it is. Terraform has been successfully initiated. Now our next command is Terraform plan. Now let's take a look at what will happen and what changes is it going to perform behind the scenes with the command Terraform plan. So these are all the changes it will perform behind the scenes. So that we have verified the changes, Let's move forward with the Terraform apply. So now all the changes that we have verified just now will be applied to the Terraform and our config file. And it is asking for the approval. Write it as. And it is creating our EC2 instance. Now you can see on the screen that we have got an output saying apply complete, one resource added. So let's take a look at our EC2 dashboard. Let's refresh it and it is running. Okay, it reinitialized it. So our instance is created and it is running. Now suppose you want to apply any changes in the instance. For example, let's change its name from web server to the EC2 server. So here we will make a change like EC2 server. Save the file. Then apply the command Terraform apply. Auto approve. As you can see, it is modifying the instance created previously. And you can see here, right? Apply complete, 0 added, 1 resource changed. So let's cross check it now. Refresh it. And you can see here the name has been changed to EC2 server from web server. So you got it now? How easily we can create and even modify the resource with the help of Terraform config files. Alright, now that our instance is running, to terminate it, go to the VS Code and run the command Terraform destroy. Verify it and type yes. And now as you can see on the screen, it is destroying the resource step by step. And here you can see that it is giving the output message destroy complete, 1 resource destroyed. And just to verify it, let's cross check it with the dashboard. Refresh it. And you can see the instance state to the terminated. Terminated, it means it will be deleted within some time. And for now, the instance has stopped running and it is terminated. So that's it. So this is how we can run all the commands and create, modify and destroy the instance. And this is not just for instance, but you can use it for many purposes as well. Now that we have got a clear idea about what Terraform is and how it makes things simpler, let's see why to use it. First is consistency. Since everything is defined in config files, Terraform ensures that whether you're creating 5 or 50 resources, they are built exactly the same every single time. Next is automation. In Terraform, you manage everything through command and scripts, so it saves a lot of time reducing the manual effort and speeds up the deployments, which is best in case when you need a resource to run for a specific while and then shut down automatically. Then we have got reusability. Once you have created a config file, you can reuse or tweak it for similar setups like in testing, staging, or even in production. And because it's all core, you can version it, track changes, and collaborate like a pro. Now let's move towards the state management. Terraform also provides state management through the terraform.tf state file, which helps in maintaining the detailed record of the current state of managed resources, like as we saw, where we modified the tag name and only that resource got changed. So this was possible only because of the state management. So in the editor, the terraform.tf state file is created right when we initialize the .tf config file, which contains all the information about the resources. Thus, when you change anything about any one resource, it gets applied to only that resource. This state file can be stored locally and remotely with the remote storage options enabling collaborations by sharing the state across teams and environments. But Terraform isn't just about creating one server. You can manage users, storage, networking, and even entire VPCs on it. Thus, to make sure everything executes smoothly, it provides you with some advanced features as well. So the first one is variables and loops. To make the dynamic processes more easier, while creating the Terraform config file, it provides you with functions, variables and loops. For example, suppose you have to manage 50 users account on Terraform. You can optimize the multiple resource handling like this with the help of loops, right? Then comes Terraform modules, which are like predefined templates or where you can even package the code in the config files in the terms of modules. So basically, modules consist of a collection of .tf or .tf.json files kept together in a directory. Modules are the main way of packaging and reuse the resource configuration with Terraform. Think of them like functions in the programming. After that, we have Terraform workspaces. Now suppose you want to use your same config files in different environments. Then you can use workspaces like Workspace Dev, Workspace Test, or even Workspace for production to make things even more easier. Lastly, we have Terraform Cloud, which even simplifies all of this as it is managed service provided by the HashiCorp that facilitates collaboration on Terraform configurations. So the config file that we created previously, it was also being managed by the state management locally. Now suppose you uploaded your config file on the GitHub, then the Terraform Cloud collected your file from the GitHub and it will run and handle the state management on the cloud, and with that it will also create, maintain and manage the resources from the Terraform Cloud. Basically, it centralizes your config file, manages remote state and runs the Terraform in the cloud. No setup needed on your local machines. Plus, with GitHub integration, versioning, approvals and full visibility becomes more seamless. Now you might be wondering, why not just use AWS CloudFormation or Ansible? While each of it has its own place, Terraform stands out because it works across multiple cloud platforms using a clean declarative syntax and emphasizes modular and reusable code. It's designed for scale and speed, which is perfect for startups and enterprises alike. And why? Because from spinning up full stack environments to provisioning databases, Kubernetes clusters, or even static websites, Terraform handles it all. It's also ideal for DevOps workflows, CI/CD pipelines, and managing cloud infrastructure at scale. Thus, Terraform lets you code your infrastructure once and deploy it anywhere. So that's the wrap for this video. If you find this video interesting, do like, share and subscribe to Intellipaat's YouTube channel for more videos like this one. See you in the next video.